Hello everyone, my name is the Cyber Prime and welcome back to Da Boys in Da Pod. And for today's lovely episode, I am joined by the one, the only Hoover,
Who is sick.
who is unfortunately
But
sick.
we schmoove.
We do schmoove, and do you know why we're gonna schmoove, Hoover? Because I only realized
Why are we
this
schmooving?
the minute I hit recording. I think this is
Yeah.
the first time in the podcast history where it is just me and you. I think
This is also really funny for other reasons that I'll also explain afterward.
yeah, oh okay, explain them to me afterwards, but this is a historic moment for the pod.
Historic moments happening.
Historic. It is one of the most integral. Do you have a favorite
Historic, how should I say? Historic petite moments. Historic, bite-sized moments. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the little moments that really count. It's the little things
It's the
along
little
the way.
moments. It's
The
the
little
little
moments. The little moments.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite little moment of history? That question just popped into my head.
Do I have a favorite little moment in history?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
You do?
but I don't know if it's true, and I think I've said it once on the podcast before. But it's so we all know Pythagoras, who invented the Pythagoras
This is
theorem.
not
Yeah.
where I thought this was going, but yes, we do.
Okay, but my favorite little moment in history is not when Pythagoras, because it was a big moment when he made. Well, maybe it wasn't a big moment at the time, but it's a big moment later when he made the Pythagoras theorem.
Yeah.
But my favorite little moment is when later on in his life, nearing the very end of it, while he was being chased away by some, I can't remember what it was, like
A bear?
an invading
Oh, you
country
did
or something
say
like
this,
that.
yeah.
He was being chased away by soldiers, and he came up to this like I think it was a cornfield. It was something like a cornfield, a maize field, something like that. He came up to a maize field and. Purely because of the fact that he ate a maize, he was like, I'm done running. You can kill me now." He
And
was
did
just
they...
like, yeah, that's it. And then they were like, well, you're dead.
That's so funny that he just was like, fuck it. That hypotenuse these, and then he just flipped them off, and then they stabbed them. I think
these nuts.
my... oh, they should have hung him in a hypotenuse. Anyway, I think my favorite small part of history or small event was in, I believe.
The what?
I believe it was 1914. Anyway, I'm not sure. That might be wrong. But in World War One, at Christmas, there was an unofficial ceasefire in some of the trenches, where both sides of the trenches. I think it's a real story. I really hope
This
it's
is
a
what
real
the
story.
Sainsbury ad was based off.
Was
Do
it?
you remember that ad?
No,
Do you remember the ad for Sainsbury?
I don't watch. No, I don't remember this.
It was. So it's essentially what you said. It's like British on one side, German on the other side. It's Christmas Day. They're both singing songs. Then they're like, "Hey, the other people are singing Christmas songs too." And then they both get up out of the trenches and they start talking with each other. And they're like, "Hey, dude," they're like, they start sharing. They start giving each other gifts and stuff like that. And they're like,
Oh,
"Merry Christmas, man!" And they all like basically have a ceasefire while it's Christmas. And then they go back to war after they hear like more like gunshots and stuff like that. And then Sainsbury just slaps its name on it. And it's like, yeah, we did that.
we did that.
Merry
That was
Christmas,
us. we stopped them. We went back in time, but they did that. But they also did a football match on some of the trenches where it was like
Yeah, they did.
yeah,
Yep.
which is really cool. That is a really fun little wholesome part of history. But what does Sainsbury's even sell?
Sainsbury's is like it's like a store. It's like a Tesco.
So it's just like a general goods store.
Yeah, they sell the whole lot.
Have you ever been in a store that you thought was one thing, but when you went in, it was a completely different thing?
I'm sure that's happened to me, but I can't remember for the life of me when it happened to me.
I have one vaguely.
I say there's definitely been a time where I thought, "Oh, what's this store?" and then realize it was very much
A
not
prison.
not a not a below 18 store.
Ah, oh, okay. Well, that's kind of what I was gonna say. I was in Spain one time, and there was a really nice coffee shop, and I was like, "Oh, this is really nice. I'll walk in here." And I walked in, and then I was like, "Oh, there's another hallway here. What's over here? Go in here." So many like bongs and stuff. Like stuff that you would not be able to bring back. I was like, oh, that's just openly on display. That's interesting. Which I don't actually know if it was legal in that part of Spain or not. But anyway, that was it does happen quite a lot.
Something similar along that happened to my cousin during a trip she went on to Amsterdam, and she it was a school trip, so her and a bunch of her friends were going around Amsterdam. Somehow they wind up in a restaurant in the red light district in Amsterdam,
Awesome.
and they didn't get verified for ID or anything. So
Oh,
there's just like a group of TY students walking into a red light district restaurant, and they didn't notice until they got in. They were like, "What? Wait, we're not meant to be here.
wait a minute. I don't see any red. But
Where are the lights?"
man, I was here for the lights. Man, I am a street light enthusiast. This place was missold to me. But that does actually remind me, recently I went on a mystery tour abroad, where we went to the airport, didn't know where we were going, and then it got up to a point where we were taking bets on which gates were closing, and eventually,
Uh-huh.
the last one, I thought it was Amsterdam. I was betting on Amsterdam. Turned out it was Lisbon, and we went to Lisbon. It was my first ever time there. It was fantastic. I slid down
Ooh.
every single street. The streets in Lisbon are so cobbled, and it was raining, so we were just falling down the whole way. There was no grip on the shoes. It was just slide and down, and hopefully you stop where you wanted to go. But halfway through the actual holiday, while we were walking through the streets, don't know why this reminded me of it, but all of a sudden we heard shouting, and it was like
Yep.
people. I could have sworn it was a fight, and we walked up, and there was a big kind of ring forming around people, and we were looking at it, and there were these two guys like shoving each other and like fighting, and like they weren't throwing punches, but they were pushing each other and they were shouting. And then all of a sudden this police officer walks up and he's like, hey, 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 you have to stop this. And I didn't think about it at the time, but they were saying it in perfect English. And then all of a sudden the police officer pulls out this massive like speaker thing, then starts blaring music, and then the police officer starts breakdancing. And then the other two people that were fighting rip off their shirts so they're shirtless, and then start breakdancing as well. And it turns out that's their introduction to their breakdancing act. And it was like
It
a
was a
street vendor.
stunt.
It was a stunt. And it was like, what the hell this has got a storyline. I'm actually invested in this. It was so weird because the breakdancing was like, all right, but the introduction was exceptional. It was really good. It was a really good way of in capturing the audience. And then across the street
The
was a guy
acting
doing
was
football
top
tricks.
tier.
It was. It
Phenomenal.
really was.
Damn,
Yeah.
that sounds like a fun time.
It actually was, to be fair. I really loved
I
that.
don't know
that
how I'd
holiday.
react if I just saw two people shoving. I think I'd just get on with my day and ignore them.
Move on by. Well,
People
yeah.
that are fighting ain't my business.
This is like the metaphorical question. If like you've seen someone getting mugged, would you run away? But like, let's not talk about that one specifically, because that is a deep
If I
philosophical
see someone
question.
getting, if I see um, there's a clear victor to it, I feel like I would step in.
Okay.
But if they're just shoving each other back and forth, I'm like, it also depends on like the two parties involved. If it's two men, I'm like, no, they're just gonna get each other killed. So I'll be like, nah, ain't dealing with that.
Have
Ain't
you
dealing
ever
with that.
been in a fight? I think we
No,
have asked this. Yeah, no, yeah.
I've never been in a fight. I punched someone before, but I've never been
Yes,
in a fight.
we did talk about the punching. I remember this. Oh man. Yeah, no, I don't think if I was in that situation. Actually, what would you do if there was a bar fight started happening? Just like a kind of a
I'd leave.
stereotypical. Actually, just okay. But what would be your first form of defense if you
Or
absolutely had to? I would just start
or
grabbing every throwable object and start throwing them at the people in front of me.
I would if a bar fight started to happen, because we all know I'm not starting a bar fight,
Oh, of
so
course, yeah.
I'm not even in the bar. If this is a realistic scenario, I haven't stepped foot into the ar. Um,
You're like a vampire. You have
so
to be invited
somehow I wound up in the bar. Maybe that's why I'm starting a bar fight, because I don't want to be in the bar. I'm trying to get out.
They won't let
But
me leave.
that's it. I'm starting a fight.
I'm stuck behind the bars.
But so yeah, if I was at a bar fight, I imagine I'd be sat at the bar, and people would be fighting. I'd be the guy who continues to sip his drink until someone shoves into me, and then I grab a bottle from like over the counter and I just smash it on their head. That's my role in the bar fight, and
Oh.
then I go back to drinking. Like I knock someone out with by
Brr,
smashing the bottle up on their head, and then I go back to drinking.
That's like some Punisher ass thing, but you're drinking like water.
It's a bottle of Coke.
Yeah. Oh, that is funny. That does remind me, because I completely forgot to say, The Boys in the Pod is a podcast where we talk about fun stuff. And we don't have all of the
We
boys
do?
here today, but The Boys in the Pod is usually a podcast where the boys join in the pod and we talk about fun stuff, live stuff, deep philosophical advice, advice that you should never listen to, and just random things that we kind of enjoy talking about. There's new episodes every Friday, and I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Hoover, that sparks another question. What is your favorite day of the week?
Favorite day of the week? Well, let's just narrow it down, okay? It's definitely not.
Okay, we have 7 options.
It's definitely not Sunday or Monday. It's never going to be
Really?
Sunday. Monday's the start of the week. It's shocking. Monday's the start of the week. Sunday is the end of the week. Like,
Man,
it's like Monday is when like you get straight into work. Sunday is like you're gearing up to get straight into work. So
here's the
they're
thing.
never my favorite days.
I think
Never
it's
gonna
just
be.
I think it's just this year of college with me specifically, but I really like Mondays. I love what I'm doing in college, and the Monday is like the least busy time, so I get to do what I love in
Well,
college, but
I get that
also
for you.
I get to talk to my friends, and I also get 2 hours of driving where I can't do anything other than like listen to
Actually,
music. So it's
technically,
nice.
Monday should be my favorite day because I have no college on Mondays.
You have no
this
college?
year, so-
How have I not known this?
Yeah.
You have no college on Mondays?
No, I haven't been in. I haven't been in college on Mondays for ages.
Oh, actually, that explains a lot. I do remember this now. I do remember you mentioning that.
So, like, I'm just thinking generally, like, not just this.
Okay,
year.
yeah, generally,
I'm
that's
thinking
fine.
Generally,
That's fair. That's fair.
Sunday, Monday, no. Saturday would be a good contender, and Friday would be a good contender. Tuesday is also a no. Feels too much like a Monday. Wednesday is just slap right in the middle, so I don't like it. I think Thursday is my favorite day.
Thursday. Okay. Thursday is a good contender.
Look,
Thursday's a good contender. Mine, I work on Fridays and Saturdays, so that kind of removes them. So I'd say mine would probably be Sunday or Monday. Sunday or Monday.
you crazy psycho.
It,
You crazy son of a bitch.
look, it just...
Just keep it Sunday. Don't make it Monday. Don't make
No,
it.
but
the love
why
of
do we
God,
live
don't
in
make
an
it-
eternal Sunday? It probably would be Monday, I think, to be honest, because I have a bit of free time, but I also feel like I've accomplished something.
I get that for you for this year, but like
Yeah,
Monday
it'll definitely change next
for the
next
rest
year.
of your life.
Well, I don't. I can't. Okay, we're not settling down for the rest of our lives. We're not taking any
I'm settling
bets here.
down for the rest of my life. Thursday is my favorite day for the rest of my life.
What? Oh, okay.
I'm happy to make that decision.
Interesting. I'm not.
You
I'm
can
not
come
willing
back to me like a year later, and you can be like, "Hey, is Thursday your favorite day?" And then I'll come up with some like bullshit reasoning for why actually Tuesday is my favorite day or something like that.
And I misunderstood. By saying Thursday, I really meant Wednesday, and by Wednesday, I really mean Tuesday, of course.
See, Thursday's kind of like a Wednesday. Wednesday's kind of like a Tuesday. So really, Tuesday's my favorite day.
Wait, what were we? Hang on. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
Literally.
Is this the transition? Is
Let's
this the transition you're coming up with?
No, it's not that. I just forgot already. Well, my God, this was 30 seconds.
Cyber.
I'm keeping all this in because this is just to showcase how poor my brain actually functions.
Cyber.
What were we?
We
Oh
were
my
on about
God.
favorite days of the week.
Favorite
We were on
days of the
about
week.
favorite
Thank
days
you.
of the
Oh
week.
my God, that was literally my brain just absolutely stopped working. It just slowed down.
We took like a
to-
3 minute. We took.
It
a
wasn't
3
even,
minute
man.
break,
It was
and
like-
we-
it was
not
like a
even 3
minute.
minutes.
Oh my God, my brain has my it
Short-term
is-
memory.
Yeah, but speaking of things that are slowly not functioning to their fullest, my laptop is slowly dying.
Oh
But
no,
it is really sad because now if I hold it
this
at
is
any other
terrible.
angle,
Replace it with a new laptop.
this is terrible. Its sacrifice will be remembered, but we're going to instantly replace it.
We're gonna instantly get rid of our feelies for this laptop and get a new one.
We're going to move on and replace the laptop as a new member of the family. There's nothing more that we can do. The laptop will understand.
So what did you do to the laptop? Did you check for a pulse?
Just rapid fire shots. Oh man, that happens in Mass Effect and it's really funny. But what was I
It's
going
a
to
funny
say?
way to check for a pulse. It's completely impractical,
Yeah,
but it's
because
hilarious. Like I like to envision a doctor practices using this method, and it's like, I need to check for a pulse. Pulls out like a Glock 19 and shoots the patient dead. And it's like, yeah, they don't have a pulse anymore. And like, I don't know, the family of the patient's like, doctor, you just killed them, and he's like, no, I had to do that to check for a pulse.
you don't
But this is what
understand.
they teach us in college.
Careful, your heart rate is increasing. Do you want me to check if your pulse is okay?
Why do you think I carry around a Glock 19?
Oh man. Well, yeah. How are you feeling, Hoover?
How am I feeling? Well, I told you, we started off with the fact that I am sick.
Yeah,
So, like, physically, not well. Mentally, I'm addicted to
not
Baldur's
well.
Gate 3.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. How is that
I
good?
have
Is that good or bad for
spent,
the soul?
I spent like over the past 3 days, if I did not have any plans, I have just been playing Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm only doing it because this week coming, I'm going to be doing all my college work, so there's no time for Baldur's Gate 3.
That is
So I
fair.
wanted to play as much of it as I could. It's so good. You could easily spend, like, I already know I'm gonna do the game again
Wait, sorry.
because
I am
what?
I am listening to you right now. And obviously this isn't it, but I'm hearing a lot of squeaks in the background, so I'm just imagining you're like recording your pod from a haunted house, like a Scooby-Doo haunted house.
Oh, those are just the ghosts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
they come around every now and then. They haunt me, but we chill. Um, they just like to go like boo and I go like ah. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is such a good game. Such a good game. Like I was saying, I already know I'm going to play it again because there's so much replayability. You could do so many different things. So many different things. At the moment, I'm playing it like a pretty, like my character's a druid, and I'm playing it as if like I'm the hero of the story. So I'm making all the right decisions, making all like the good, morally correct decisions, stuff like that. Um, I'm romancing a specific character.
Ooh, is it me?
Yes, Cyber, I'm
Oh,
romancing
I knew it.
you.
I knew it. It was a bit weird when they put me in the game without my permission. That was a bit strange.
It was bizarre, but like, yeah, you wouldn't think that a like 8 foot tall transformer like robot would fit in this fantasy like world setting, but it actually really
Hey,
works.
what can I say?
Um,
If anything, I'm adaptable, okay? I can perform. I can perform.
that's a line for Baldur's Gate 3,
Wait,
right there and then.
really?
No,
Oh,
no,
goddamn.
I would say that's one of your lines.
All right, I was gonna say that would have
You're
been
quoting
such a
yourself on
coincidence.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm romancing. I've already decided I'm romancing one character, but there's a very easy problem with the game, and the problem is you can easily romance several different characters. Like you can easily fall into romance narratives with several different characters. I accidentally did it with like two characters, and I was like, "Shit, I don't want to do this." But like, fortunately, in the times when you get to like romance all the characters, at the end of the night, it gives you like an option of who to choose. And I was like, you could spend your night with this person, you could spend your night with this person, you could spend your night with this person. And I was like, where is my fella? Where is my guy? And I was like, where is he? Where is he? And I was like, this one. So
there
yeah,
he
I
is.
chose that option. And But like playing the game, I'm already like, I really want to romance another character as well. But I was like, I have to be faithful for this first one, and then
Faithful and
next one I'll be
just.
faithful to someone else. Um, and I searched it up because I was just curious. I was, I was curious, like, could I have a hammer situation where I can romance them all? And the long and short of it is no, but yes, with three specific characters.
Oh, that's
There's three
interesting.
characters that will just let you romance anyone else as well as them. So you could romance two people, but not a whole bunch. But there's three characters that are like, yeah, you can romance me and you can romance that person. I don't care. I don't give
Hmm.
a fuck. But
Interesting.
the character I'm romancing is not one of those characters, so I gotta stay faithful.
Gotta stay
But
faith, faith,
I
faith.
love this character because I was playing it earlier today, and we just did this like big battle, and afterwards, if your companions want to say something, they'll have like an exclamation point above their head, and my romance character had an exclamation. I was like, what does he have to say? I talked to him, and he was just like, I don't know what it is, but like being in this battle, it just makes me realize how much I feel for you and shit like that. And he said a lot more fancy, but I was like, oh my god,
It's working.
he's madly in love with me, and I was like, fuck yes,
I have
it's brilliant.
achieved success. I have bouldered the
Exactly.
gate, if you will.
I have bouldered the gate, but specifically the third one.
Specifically the third gate. I actually own
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Did I tell you that?
you do,
Yeah, you can buy them on PlayStation for
but
like 10 euro.
they're not as like they're really old, aren't
Oh
they?
yeah, they're really, really. I think they're different companies that make them as well. I'm not sure, but they're very
And
old.
they're also like nowhere as in depth as Baldur's Gate 3.
I can't speak to that front. I probably not. I wouldn't say, but I own them, so maybe I'll play them first before I play Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh
Uh,
God.
I'm joking. I'm assuming you don't actually have to play any of them to enjoy the third one.
I assume they're all anthology because you just get thrown straight into this, and it's not like, hey, remember the first Baldur's Gate? No,
Remember this
nothing.
guy?
Remember this guy from Baldur's Gate 1?
Well,
No,
he
there's
died.
nothing like
Moving
that.
on. Uh,
He's dead. And this follows none of the characters from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. No, but
Welcome
yeah,
to
I love
Pacific
this
Rim
game.
Uprising.
I love it.
I do intend to
Love it
get it
so
at some
much.
point because not to spoil anything, but I think it's really cool that it has a multiplayer option.
Oh,
Wink,
100%. I
100%.
can't. I can only hear you. I can't see your
Oh
physical
yeah, that's
representation.
sorry. I'm sorry.
So
That's
thank
my
you
bad.
for making the wink
Oh,
audible.
anytime, man. Anytime. I appreciate it. I thumbs up.
I could tell he's happy with me now.
I think. What angle was the thumb
Big
at?
frown.
Massive disappointment.
It's shit. Just like my father.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh man, man, yeah. Disappointment. Is there ever have you been disappointed by anything recently?
Have I been disappointed by something recently? Um, um, kind of disappointed in myself because I'm not reading as much as I
Oh,
want to.
that's way more sad than serious than I was expecting. I
But
was gonna
like,
say Halo, the TV show, but
sorry, I
to
didn't realize
be
we were
no,
going for lighter tones.
to be clear, I really
I
like the show, but
guess
I'll explain after. Go for it.
if we're talking about TV shows, I am disappointed. Not entirely disappointed, but disappointed with the Avatar
Oh,
Netflix show.
really?
Um, it's in regards to one character that they really just butchered. They butchered so badly. Um, so there's one character. There's one character called Katara in Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Okay.
and in the cartoon show, she is like she I wouldn't say she's arrogant, but she's a very confident person, and she's confident in her skills, and she's confident in her like ability,
Yeah.
and she's a very confident character. And in the live action series, they took all that confidence away and made her very timid, and it just wasn't Katara. Like she didn't get a lot of talking, and like anytime she did, it was like it was like someone there behind the camera was like, yes, we needed to be timid or something like that. When it's that's just not Katara. Katara is a very confident person, and they just that didn't translate into the live action for some reason,
Oh.
which was a bit poor, if I'm being honest. The rest of it, like, no, there was also a big mistake they made, and I don't know who was like, yeah, because like they were completely aware of the fact that they were making this mistake, yet no one stopped to be like, hey, this should be happening, and someone was clearly like, no, we're not gonna make that happen.
Is
Like
this like a
it's not a
big spoiler
it's not
for
a
me?
spoil. This isn't really a spoiler
Go for it then.
because it's the
Reveal
whole point.
all!
It's the whole point of the show. So there's 3 seasons.
Wait, okay, hang on.
I'm
Before you say this, I was going to joke and say there's actually another airbender so that he's not the last airbender. That's not what it is it?
Oh no, there's nothing like that.
Okay, good. I was gonna.
There's 3 seasons. Aang's the last airbender. He's also the Avatar, so he needs to learn water, earth, and fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
The first season is called Book One, Water. That whole season, he is learning how to use water, and by the end of the season, he knows how to use water.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
Book
makes
Two is
sense.
called Earth. That whole season, he's learning Earth, and by the end of the season, he knows how to confidently use Earth. Book three is Fire, and it's also the finale. So like he pretty much learns how to use fire about like halfway through, and then up to the end, like that. It's the finale of the show. So by the end of season one, Aang, the Avatar, should know how to use water completely.
Yes.
Should be pretty much not a master in water, but should be pretty much confident in his ability to waterbend. The entirety of
Bless
the
you.
show, he is only airbending. Halfway through the show, the character Katara, she says to Aang, um, "Don't you want to train like waterbending with me? We can practice together." And that's what they do in the animated cartoon. They practice waterbending together. They learn how to waterbend together. Like
Makes
Katara
sense.
teaches Aang how to waterbend. So like that happens throughout the show. So in the live action, Katara's like, "Don't you want to learn how to waterbend with me?" And Aang's like, "No, nah,
What?
nah, don't wanna." Um, he's afraid to or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so that was around like episode 4 or something like that. And then by the end of season 1 in the animated show, uh, they get to this southern water tribe place. No, sorry, a northern water tribe place, and they find a waterbender master there, and they learn how to waterbend off him. But they already find since they've been practicing waterbending throughout, they're already pretty good at waterbending.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty much like at the standard they need to be at with water. That you find
Cool.
out because the master's like, yeah, you're actually pretty good. Like you keep this rate
You're
up,
not
you'll
bad.
be a master in your own time. So like because of their practice and hard work, they already know how to use water. Uh, in the live action, they get to the Northern Water Tribe, and they start learning how to waterbend off him. You still don't see Aang waterbend. There's this whole issue with Katara where she's like, "Why am I learning how to do this? Why am I only learning how to like cure wounds and stuff when I could be learning how to waterbend?" And it's like it's a whole like sexist thing. Like this like master's like, no, all the women don't learn how to waterbend. They learn how to like the cure with the water. They don't like learn how to fight with waterbending. There's that whole arc. So
Okay.
it focuses on that instead of which is does happen in this in the animated show. So so like that stays pretty faithful, but it still doesn't show Aang learning water. And then literally last 5 minutes after like the events of season 1 happen, there's a conversation between Katara and Aang, and Katara's like, "So, you still don't know how to waterbend. Do you think we should stay here until you know how to like until you've mastered waterbending?" And then Aang goes, "Nah, we gotta move on."
Why? 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 Why would they? Why would
So,
they?
so they were completely aware of this move they were making, and they were completely aware that did not make it did not follow the story at all. For
But
some reason, they just didn't want to show scenes where like it didn't even it wouldn't even have hurt to have shown one scene early on in the season where they're practicing water bending, and then you could easily just like work it into the narrative, like,
so
oh,
you
we
did
were
it off
practicing
screen.
this morning or something like that, and like if you shown it once and then like for the rest of it, it was happening off screen, but then like Aang would throw in some water into like some of his moves or something like that, and then by the end he's like, oh, he's pretty much a waterbender now. But no, they
Did
were
they?
like,
Did
I
they
don't
say
know
why?
who. I didn't search up why. I don't know whose decision it was, but it was not a good decision. I was like, who was? Because now in season two, where he's meant to be learning Earth, they now have to work in how he's learned water, unless they're going to do like a tiny time skip
That
and
I'd say
say he's
that'll probably
already
be
learned
it.
water, which I think is what's going to happen because they've already said that there's one aspect of the show that they're not going to say is going to happen. Because in the anime season, one of the things they've said is that it's so easy for the anime to say this all happened over a certain period of time because the cartoons don't age.
Yeah.
But since like the actors are going to age, they have to kind of like extend the amount of time
Mm-hmm.
it like spans over. So I think what's going to happen is when season two comes out, they'll be like, "Oh, he's already mastered water, and he can use water." It will be like, "Oh, it's been like a month or something, like that." I think that's going to
Okay, that makes sense.
happen. But yeah, anyway, that's enough of my griping.
All I was going to say about Halo is that visually it's a fantastic show.
Master Chief doesn't wear the suit.
I honestly don't find that as much of a problem as. Okay, I didn't find it as much of a problem as many people did in season one. What I found that being a problem was in season two, they wrote out the suit out of the show for like 5 of the 8 episodes or whatever it was. They go out of their way to remove the suit from Master Chief and put it on a ship and send it to another planet. Like, it's gone. It's completely disconnected
Why
to
did they
Chief.
do that?
I don't want to spoil it, but there's the people that technically own the suit dislike Master Chief. And they're like, yoink, and then they just leave. And then the whole kind of inspiration
Master
from.
Chief doesn't own his own suit.
No, because technically he is property of Oni, which is like the the military essentially, and because he's in the Spartan program, he's technically a weapon and technically not a person. It's kind of a weird legality thing because they were
What?
kidnapped as 6-year-olds and experimented on to become full-on soldiers. They do take that from straight from the games, and that is quite cool. I do like how they develop that, but they also replace the kids with clones that die after a few weeks to make it look so people don't realize when their children have been kidnapped, which is really messed up. But
Oh
that
my
is also a
god.
thing that happens in the game, and it's really cool. It's terrifying, but it's really cool. But they're my only problem with Halo right now, and maybe it's just because I keep expecting it to be the story of the Halo games, is just they keep on doing things in the wrong order. They've killed off characters now that survive until the end of the first game. There's characters that should be introduced by now that aren't.
Hmm.
There's one of them, the Arbiter, I think isn't the Arbiter from the games. I think that Arbiter is going to be replaced by the Arbiter from the games, hopefully. And then for some reason they introduce other really cool characters earlier. So there's the little floating orb thing that inspired the Ghost from Destiny called Guilty Spark, and he's introduced in the second season of the Halo show for like way earlier than he should be. Like
Oh.
he's just a little floating orb that operates the Halo, and he doesn't sound as happy and slightly menacing as he does in the game, which is unfortunate. But I do like the voice, and again, the design is great. They nail the designs of the Halo show. They absolutely nail the visuals of everything.
So they're very much really just using what they want from the story and making their own thing.
Yeah, incredibly so. Yeah,
Kind of like the Witcher series.
probably. I never watched Witcher. I
They
do
were.
kind of want to.
I've yet to read the books. I've only read the first one, but I know there was big issues with the third one because they started doing stuff differently, and they were killing off characters that like become very integral to the story in like the
Oh.
next books and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure they killed off one character who pretty much ends up saving like Geralt's and Ciri's life in the next book, but like he's dead now,
They
so
write it up to that point, and then they're
that
like,
doesn't
"Oh
happen.
shit!" And this show just ends.
We have to kill them now. No one's there to save them.
Uh-oh, Geralt F4. Oh,
It's
but
like Henry Cavill stares at the screen. If only this character hadn't died in season 2 so they could save us at this point in time right now. Instead, I'm being killed to death. Takes a sword to the...
instantaneously dies. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
like Emperor's New Groove. He pauses he pauses like reality, like talks to the audience, and then like replays. He's like, ah, shit.
oh, that is a fun analogy. That is a very fun analogy. Oh man, but yeah, I don't think there's anything else that like show wise I've been disappointed in. On the contrary, I've started Lost, which I have not discussed on the
Oh
pod yet.
boy,
But I'm really enjoying it.
and that ain't disappointing.
Yeah, that
That
is
ain't damn. It
far
does
from
not
disappointing.
disappoint.
Without even referencing a single thing, can you tell me? Because all I've had, the only opinion I've gotten is from David, friend of the channel, and I respect his opinion quite a lot. But I am curious: did you enjoy the finale? And don't say a single thing. I just want to know it's a yes or a no.
Did I enjoy the
The very
finale?
end, I mean.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because I want to. I hope I enjoy it. But I'm only on season 2, so I have
See,
still a
that was a
long way
big
to
hook
go.
for me. Because I had heard that the ending was bad.
Yeah, that's what
But
people have
David
said to
kept
me in
going on
person.
about how good it was, so I was like, look, David, if you say it's good, if you tell me now the ending is good, I'm going to watch it.
Like,
And he did. And I did.
the
And I
w-
did like the ending.
the way I'm looking at it is that it is, holy shit, it's 8, no, that's not right. It's not 8 seasons.
It's 6 seasons.
Yeah, it's 6 seasons, so that means it's 5 seasons shorter. Fuck me, it's 5 seasons shorter than the main Walking Dead. Oh!
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that to the end, and I'm still watching the fucking universe. Oh, so if I watch that and it had a terrible ending, then I can watch Lost, and I can't wait to watch. I'm going to watch From as well afterwards, which is the show that people.
From...
It's the show that the people that made Lost are making right now, and apparently it's just as good. It's
Ooh.
all like I think without spoiling it, I think the whole concept is that people go into a town, but then they can't leave the town. So like if they
That's just straight up Once Upon a Time.
I don't know. Well, Once Upon a Time is semi apparently connected to Lost. No, wait, no. Is it Once Upon a Time where they're all like
How?
fairy tale people?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look up, there's one shot that just explicitly shows it. The camera starts in the sky, and then the airplane company from Lost flies over, and then it pans down into the scene. Oceanic Airlines just completely goes over. And then there's
Flight
another.
8,
No,
815.
it's not the flight, I don't think, but it's the same company.
Imagine. Oceanic 815.
Yeah, it's Oceanic anyway that's flying over. And then there's another TV show that references it about a guy I think that solves like CIA classified files, and one of the direct lines in the show is like, "Oh, I can tell you what happened to Oceanic 815," and then the other one's like, "No," and then they actually talk about the main episode. Like there's a load of shows. They're probably all Easter eggs. They're probably not all canon to each other.
I
But
say
there's
that CIA one is an Easter egg.
yeah, there's
It's funny, like they had all the answers to Lost, and they're like, "Oh, I can tell you everything that happened here," and they're like, "No, not that,
I
not
don't
today."
care.
And
I can't
everyone's
remember
like,
what that one
"God
was
damn
called.
it!" The answers were so close.
There's a load of shows like you can tie them all around, and eventually they all lead into Supernatural as well. I can't remember how exactly, but
Supernatural. I always hear of that, but
or
I've
was
never
it?
seen
Wait,
it.
it was like the Supernatural or the X Files. Somehow they all tie into it. It's one of those big supernaturally kind of shows. But yeah, at some point I will watch those and watch that entire universe because that's a lot of classic TV that I've never watched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man,
Anyway, Cyber, I think it's about time. I think it's about
time.
time you coughed up what we're really here for today. We've had enough small
What do you
talk.
mean?
I know what you're hiding. You're
Oh,
hiding from me a certain topic.
oh, what was the topic?
We didn't just do this episode just to have small talk.
No, we
Surely not.
didn't. No, we didn't. What was the? Uh, oh, this was meant to be the Turtle Guy Cake episode, wasn't it?